Throughout history, there have been many songs written about the eternal triangle. This next one tells the story of a Mr. Grayson, a beautiful woman, and a condemned man named Tom Dooley. When the sun rises tomorrow, Tom Dooley must hang. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, oh boy, you're bound to die. Met her on a mountain, there I took her life. Met her on a mountain, stabbed her with my knife. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, oh boy, you're bound to die. About this time tomorrow, reckon where I'll be. If it weren't for Grayson, I'd have been in Tennessee. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, oh boy, you're bound to die. About this time tomorrow, reckon where I'll be. Down in the lonesome valley, hanging from a white oak tree. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, oh boy, you're bound to die. Well, hang down your head, Tom Dooley, hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley, oh boy, you're bound to die. Oh boy, you're bound to die. Well, that's a song that was made famous by the Kingston Trio. And what does it have to do with what we're making today? Absolutely nothing. Why did I sing it? Well, one of my viewers named Kim told me that that is her favorite song by the Kingston Trio. And so I thought I'd be nice and sing it for her. So Kim, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm no Kingston Trio, I'm not even a Kingston Mono, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Today, we're going to make bread machine raisin bread. Now, a while back, if you remember, I made just regular bread in the bread machine, but today we are going to make raisin bread. So let's get to it, shall we? So what are you going to want? Well, you want your bread pan from your bread machine, and you're going to add to that 1 1/8 cups of water. Now, if you were paying real close attention, you might have noticed I only had 1 cup of water in there. And you're going to say, wait a minute, he said 1 1/8 cups. Well, the reason for that is in the winter and early spring, well, late fall, winter, and early spring here in Saskatchewan, I find that I have to pre-activate my yeast. During the summer, I can just put the yeast in right out of the packet, but this time of year, I have to pre-activate it. So I use that 1/8 cup of water to pre-activate my yeast. So we'll get the other 1/8 cup of water in there when we put the yeast in. So anyway, we'll put in our water, room temperature, and then you want 3 cups of white flour. And you want 1 teaspoon of salt, and I always put the salt in around the edges, and for the reason
that salt will kill yeast. So I don't want my salt and yeast mixing together too soon. So I always put the salt in around the edges, and then I scoot the flour out to cover the salt. Next, we're going to want 2 tablespoons of sugar. And 2 tablespoons of powdered milk. 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. You want 1.5 tablespoons of butter or margarine. Now today I'm using margarine. Butter does give it a little richer flavor, and I often prefer to use butter when I'm cooking and baking, but today I'm going to use margarine. Then you want 1 egg. And 1.5 teaspoons of yeast, and in this case, as you can see, I've pre-activated it. So we're going to put that in to our bread pan. I want to get as much of it as we can in there, because there's no point doing 1.5 teaspoons if you don't put it all in the pan, is there? So there we go. Now our other ingredient is 3/4 cup of raisins, but we're not going to put those in just yet. We're going to put our pan into our bread machine and get it started. So let's do that. Put our pan in the bread machine. You want to make sure the locks in place nicely. Close the lid. Now, on your menu on your bread machine, you want to choose the one that says mix or mix bread. Normally I just do this on the bread setting, but we want mix bread. So you use your menu button to take it to mix bread. And then press start. Now the total process for this takes 4 hours and 10 minutes in my machine, from when I just push the button to when we'll have our finished loaf. But using the mix cycle, partway through that time, I'll get a signal. A little beep, 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 beep. And that's when I will add my raisins. So I'll come back at that point and we'll add our raisins, and then we'll come back at the end to see how our loaf of raisin bread turned out. All right, we just had our signal from our machine, and so we will add our raisins. There we go. We've got 3 hours and 38 minutes left to go. We'll be back to see how the finished loaf looks. Alrighty.